Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my review of some of the Ordinary products. Now, you guys have flooded my email and my comments with requests to review the Ordinary. This is a fairly new line of skincare that Wayne Goss hipped everybody to back in September. And he was saying that it was going to be a game changer for anti-aging skincare or skincare in general because the Ordinary was selling their products for an average price point of about between $5 and $10 a piece. And as you know, most anti-aging skincare is terribly expensive. This is a company that is out of South Africa, and they have been around for a while, and they have several different lines of products. So the Ordinary is their least expensive line. Their main company is called the Abnormal Beauty Company, and they definitely are an abnormal beauty company. So they're not making all the big claims that everybody else does. Their website and their products are very much based around active ingredients, which is what I like about it. That's why this is so much right up my alley, because, you know, if you guys watch my skincare routine or hear me talk about skincare, you know that I stopped listening to those marketing claims a few years ago when I really got into skincare, and I started looking for active ingredients that are actually proven to work with scientific research. And that is what led me to my skincare routine, which contains what I consider to be the best of the anti-aging actives that are currently available today. So they have a lot of really interesting products. I gotta say, their website could be a little confusing based on that. If you haven't been into ingredients, if you're not into reading the studies and you don't know what ingredients you're looking for, you might look on their website and just be completely confused. But it's really refreshing and it's really exciting and it's really a great new approach. The three products that I chose to purchase from the Ordinary were their Vitamin C Suspension 23% plus HA spheres. That's hyaluronic acid spheres. I also picked up the Buffet. This is their Matrixyl 3000, Matrixyl Synthe 6, and a whole mess of other stuff. The idea behind the Buffet is that it's like a buffet that you would go to at a restaurant, and it's a smorgasbord of all kinds of stuff, and it's all in there. And then the third one I got was a moisturizer. I just wanted to try a plain moisturizer. This is their natural moisturizing factors plus hyaluronic acid. There was another product that I did want to try that I did order, but it hasn't come in yet. It is their lactic acid 5% product, and I'm really interested in lactic acid all of a sudden because I saw some studies saying that it can increase the ceramide levels in your skin. So the first product I want to talk about is the Vitamin C Suspension. This is 23% vitamin C. It's L-ascorbic acid plus HA spheres 2%. This I bought for $5.80 here in the US for a 1 ounce tube. So this is a really interesting formula because it doesn't use water. Now, most of the vitamin C serums that you will find out there that use L-ascorbic acid are a water-based serum. And that's because L-ascorbic acid, when you buy it, you know, if you're a manufacturer, it comes as a powder. And the powder dissolves in water, which is great for making a formula because you can, you know, put it on your skin and it absorbs very, very easily. The problem with a water-based solution is that L-ascorbic acid is a very unstable molecule and it will oxidize because of the oxygen in the water over time. So they have to do things like put it at a certain pH in order to have it be more stable so that it can actually be shipped to your house and you can use it over time. And they also include other ingredients like vitamin E and ferulic acid that help to stabilize the vitamin C. So that's all in a water-based solution. Now, that's why this was so interesting, because this has no water in it, so it's not pH dependent and you won't get oxidation. But of course, there are trade-offs. The trade-off is that the L-ascorbic acid powder didn't dissolve in any of the stuff that they have in here, okay? So that's why it's called a suspension. And the question is, how much of it is actually going to dissolve once it hits your skin? So of course your skin contains water, and once you put it on, then your skin will dissolve some of it and it will get into your skin and be used, and it won't be pH dependent and it won't oxidize. I am flying my chemistry geek flag right now, so proudly. I am so proud. Thanks, Dad. It says on the website that because this is a suspension, there are two things that you need to consider. Number one, and I'm going to sort of read it right off the website, is a very strong tingling but non-irritating sensation is expected during the first 1 to 2 weeks of use until the skin's tolerance to such high exposure is elevated. Number two, the powder exposure to the skin disallows the formula to feel like a serum, lotion, or cream, and each application requires a few seconds to feel absorbed by the skin. So, what that means is that it's not going to feel like any lotion, cream, or serum you have tried before. So let's just put a little blob here. A little of this goes a long way, so you don't need much, but it's hard to control how much you get out of here, I gotta say. The dropper would have been better, but I understand why they repackaged it. As you can see, it looks like Elmer's glue. It's got that same kind of consistency. All right, when you go to rub it in, what you notice right away is that it feels granular. So since the L-ascorbic acid powder is not dissolved into the serum, you can feel the powder. All right, so I have been rubbing this in for probably about half a minute so far. And as you can see, it really is not absorbing very quickly. It's definitely still sitting on the surface of my skin. It's definitely very, very shiny. So where that granular feeling is the actual L-ascorbic acid powder that's not dissolved, and I'm feeling so much of it right here on my fingers and still on the back of my hand. What it's got me thinking is how much of that is actually getting into my skin, and there is no way for me to know that, which is probably why they put in such a large concentration at 23%, so that, you're probably getting around the 10 to 15% range, I would hope, but you really don't know. So now it's been like a full minute since I started putting that on, and still it is not absorbed. They did say that, number one, that you could expect a strong tingling but non-irritating sensation. I didn't have that. I didn't have a tingling. What I had was a burning and a stinging, and my face turned bright red like it was on fire. I can feel it already. I feel this like little prickly heat over here, so even my hand is burning from it. I did try to use it a few different times, a few different ways. If I tried to use it in the morning, it was an epic fail because of this shine, that it doesn't go into your skin very well. I couldn't get my sunscreen to work on top of it. I couldn't get makeup to work on top of it. So definitely would need to use it at night. I switched it to the nighttime, but that meant that I couldn't use my retinoid, which was fine just for testing purposes. And again, of course, the stinging and burning, which lasted at least for, until I finally fell asleep. When I got up in the morning, the pain was gone. And my skin looked fairly normal, although it was starting to get a little bit red on the fronts of my cheeks. The other thing that I tried with it is they say that you can mix it in with a moisturizer. So I did try to mix it right into this moisturizer that I bought from them. I put it on. It didn't have this gritty feeling, but it still burned. So even mixing it with the moisturizer didn't make any difference. So for me, the vitamin C suspension was an epic fail. I did not enjoy using it. They do offer 3 other vitamin C serums. None of them are L-ascorbic acid based. Unfortunately, L-ascorbic acid is the only vitamin C that I really consider to be, the one that works. All right, so moving on to the buffet product. This retails for $14.80 for the 1 ounce. It contains Matrixyl 3000 peptide complex, Matrixyl Synthe 6 peptide complex, a Synthe peptide complex, a Relistase peptide complex, an Argirelox peptide complex, a probiotic peptide complex, and it's in a base of 11 skin-friendly amino acids and multiple hyaluronic acid complexes. The total concentration of these technologies in the formula by weight is 25.1%. Since it is a Matrixyl Synthe 6 complex, I asked my chemist of a father what that meant, and he was saying, well, if it was just straight Matrixyl Synthe 6, that's what it would say. But where it's a complex, they are either purchasing or mixing up batches of the Matrixyl with some other stuff. So that's one step of dilution, and then where you're putting it in with all these other complexes. So each complex, you don't know how much of the active ingredient that is the important one you're getting in there. So let's say if there's 8 different complexes in here, which is what I think I just read, and it's at a 25% concentration, 8 goes into 25 close to 3 times. That would mean that there was 3% of each complex in here, assuming that they were in there equally, which they probably aren't. So it's probably that, their number 1 superstar, the Matrixyl 3000 and Matrixyl Synthe 6, are in there in a little bit more. but it's the concentrate that would be at 3% or 5%, not the actual Matrixyl, you know what I'm saying? So here it is. It's kind of a milky, clearish liquid. But it is definitely thick and a little bit gel-like. This does absorb right in just about as quickly as my other Matrixyl serums have, but it does, you know, dry down to a non-shiny, definitely, you know, clear, wearable formula. I was kind of skeptical, especially after my experience with the vitamin C serum, that this was going to work. So I just did a, you know, review of the Timeless Matrixyl Synthe 6, where I tried it just on my neck along with an over-the-counter retinol. And so I have fresh before and after pictures from just a couple months ago. And so I thought, oh my gosh, let me try this on my neck, and then I'll take after pictures, and then I'll compare it to that, and we'll see if this stuff really works, right? So I was like, perfect. So I went ahead and did that. So I used this one for 30 days on my neck. All right, so looking at the before and after from the front, I was like, oh, it didn't do anything. Darn it. I do try to keep the lighting the same. I try to keep the camera angle the same, my face, you know, the amount I'm like pulling my neck up and everything. So I feel like in the second set of pictures, the actual wrinkle depth looks shallower, but I noticed that there is like a higher shine off of the first ones. Even though I did use the flash in the second ones, it didn't reflect as much light. But from the side, I feel like the skin tone looks better. I feel like the crepiness on the surface looks improved. Although if we compare actual wrinkle to wrinkle and count them up, the ones in the before picture I think actually are a little bit shorter and slightly fewer wrinkles. So I'd say that the Matrixyl Synthe 6, my Timeless product, was working definitely better on the actual deeper wrinkles. But I think that this complex of so many different things with the Synthe and the probiotics and the amino acids and all the hyaluronic acid, it definitely gave that more kind of puffed out look to the surface, and I feel like the skin looks better. So for the buffet, I think that yes, this is a good product and this is a winner. All right, so to the third product that I bought, it is the Natural Moisturizing Factors plus Hyaluronic Acid. This was $5.80 for 1 ounce. As you can see, it comes in the little basic tube. This contains multiple amino acids, fatty acids, triglycerides, urea, ceramides, phospholipids, glycerin, saccharides, sodium PCA, hyaluronic acid. It is a very nice lightweight moisturizer. I did use it during the day and at night to test it out. It's just your standard, you know, white lotion cream. It comes out of the tube very nicely. You know, rubbing it in, it doesn't rub in quite as easily as I would like. As you can see, it kind of sits on the surface, getting a little weird, slipping around, but it does eventually, you know, get into your skin. And you know that I like to apply my skincare rapid fire. I don't wait in between products, so I would probably be applying it like this, where I would put on, you know, the buffet, and then I would slap this on right on top. It does absorb fairly quickly. It doesn't leave too tacky of a surface feel. I preferred it at night because it does not work well under my other products. So as you know, I am married to my sunscreen, and I always put my sunscreen on. The second I tried to put a sunscreen on over this, balled and pilled and rolled right off my face. Then I was like, well, other people don't use sunscreen as much as I tell them to. I know they don't. So let me try it just, you know, under makeup. Same thing happened. I tried it with a few different foundations. Same thing every time. Balling, pilling, sloughing. It was a mess. It could be okay to use at night. When I woke up in the morning, my skin did feel moisturized. It didn't feel dry. It's a nice moisturizer. But it doesn't contain niacinamide, and I'm not sure if it contains ceramides or not. And so I really want niacinamide in my moisturizer, so I will not be, you know, using this instead of my Olay Regenerist Micro Sculpting Cream at night. So this has no place in my skincare routine just because it doesn't have quite the ingredient load that I'm looking for, that I'm getting in my Olay Regenerist, and it can't be used during the day because it doesn't work under anything. So I'm a little disappointed that I only like 1 out of the 3, but you know, that's just the way it is when you're doing these kind of kooky experiments with skincare things. As I said, I'm getting the lactic acid product, and so if it works out well, I will probably come back with a separate review on that one. I'd be really curious and interested to know what you guys bought, what you guys think of what you guys bought. So that's the video for today, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. You know, I always appreciate your time. And so I'll see you in the next video. So take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.